Okay. Hello. Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. How are we doing? This is the very first episode, or first take on a new project I want to get going called Here Today, Gone Tomorrow, because that's kind of how the news works nowadays. It is really quick to enter and then very fast to leave as well, just as quickly as it came into existence. So I wanted to start doing a couple times a week, at least one time a week, talking about some of the crazy shit that's happening in the world. Pardon my French, but I think it's important that we I think people need to continue to speak up and talk about things that are really difficult to confront. You're seeing a lot of channels popping up nowadays that are they're pretty counterculture, if you will, and I want to make sure that I do my part, because I probably spend way too much time on platforms like Twitter and a long time ago Facebook, but the stuff I see there, I just think we're so split and divided on things that the more people that come out against some of these really crazy radical ideas, we need more of it. So I'm gonna do my part and do what I can to do what I want to do. I'm sick of not speaking up or not saying something because I'm afraid of some sort of repercussion or anything like that. So there's lots of juicy stuff to talk about, because currently you have the murder trial of Derek Chauvin, or Chauvin, however you say his name. That's a really big thing in the news right now. People really want to see this guy go away. And I'm not saying at all that he didn't do anything wrong. I believe he did, but I think it's important that we talk about it. I think there's more to the whole story than just a guy sat in another man's neck and killed him. So we're talking about that. There's a lot of stuff going on with the Asian community, a lot of hate going around, and there seems to be a lot of violence against Asian Americans. And when there was and it seems to me that we're leaving out certain instances of these hate crimes or instances because they don't fit our mainstream narrative. I think that's another important thing that we talk about. And then vaccine passports. That's kind of the topics we're going with today, because again, more slippery slopes as we battle this COVID pandemic. I think it's just important that it's important we have the conversation. It's just important. Bottom line. Thank anyone who's watching right now. I have seen a couple chatters, or one chatter here. LG, what up, man? Thank you for stopping in. This is our very first little podcast episode. Hopefully we'll continue to do these, because we all know there's plenty of news to talk about. So this is a project I've been thinking about doing for a while now, and I'm hoping that we can shine a little light on things that are just happening in the world, because Lord knows there's enough. Sorry. Okay. So the first little story that I kind of came across this morning was insane to me. It was I saw Nuance Bro tweeted it out. If you guys don't know who Nuance Bro is, you should check him out on YouTube. He's really awesome. There's another attack on an Asian. This one looks like it was in New York City, and it's pretty brutal to watch, because by yes, I mean dumb shit often. But this story here was pretty brutal, because there's a bunch of people sitting around, and this guy is just hammering this guy in the head in the corner, just Not even stop. People are looking on. They're not doing anything to stop it. It's really, really difficult to watch. I don't know. I'm not really going to show it because I don't want, like, you know, I don't want anything bad to happen to the video. I want to get taken down. But, I mean, I think the most disturbing part, like, so he gets down, he chokes the guy out, puts him to sleep, and then he walks off the train. I'll show this part because it's not violence. But, like, he walks off the train, and then he comes back on the train to look at him again. Like, it does it real quick. Like, he stops, all mad, stops, and then peeks his head back in and leaves. No one does anything. That's what I find to be the most vile part of this, is that the guy committed a horrible act of violence on an innocent guy. I mean, we don't see the beginning of the altercation, whatever it is. But no one does anything. And I know it's a sticky situation when you're in a subway like that, because there's no way out. You don't know if this guy has a weapon, whatever. But no one does anything. Just take the TikTok video, it goes viral. This guy's going to get a bunch of money because someone else got his ass kicked. It's a really, really weird situation that we're kind of living in right now, where I'm just not seeing this reported on. A white guy goes and kills a bunch of people with a gun. It's all of a sudden the biggest thing we got to talk about, this hate crime. He's white, and then stuff like this, multiple things like this happen from a person of color, black guy. And it's just silence. That's not part of the message that we're pushing. And that is the problem. That is the problem. It's like, at what point is it too much? You know what I'm saying? At what point is it too much and we have to step in and do something? I'm not a news source. I'm someone who wants to talk about this because I'm worried that this is going to get out of hand. So I'll report on it. A guy like Nuance Bro is going to report on it. All these quote unquote, alt-right accounts that are sharing it and being like, hey, what about this? I don't, it's something. You can't leave it out of the discussion. You cannot leave this out of the discussion. It's important. People are getting hurt over it, like actual hurt. And we saw in the other day, yesterday we see, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, we see the video of that poor Uber Eats driver who's getting carjacked by two black girls. They're young too. They're like 13 and 15 years old. And the guy lost his life. And no one even really stepped in. There's a guy videotaping it. No one's trying to stop these other guys clearly asking for help, saying, this is my car, this is my car. They speed off down the road. They hit a sign. I don't know what happened when the guy hit the sign. And then the guy gets ejected from the car, and the girls are, car flips over, guy's ejected, dead on the ground. There's military around him, not doing anything. They're helping the girls out of the car, and the girl's worried about her phone in the car. This is a problem. This is a problem. I just saw that that hashtag, the thank you Lucifer. I have no idea what that is. This is gonna reach a boiling point. I talked about all this stuff with Hotep Jesus. At what point does the bubble break and this is too much? People understand they're being gaslit every single day. Like, I'll be upfront with everyone who's watching this recording, or whoever's watching this recording or is watching it live. Thank you again. Lawrence, Mr. Brana, hello, welcome. Good to see you, my friend. Sonic Buster, thank you guys for watching. A year ago, I was sitting here with all these other lunatics talking about how because I was white, I had some sort of debt to pay. I had to wash people's feet. I had to give up whatever rights I may have had just so someone else could do something. I'm done with it. I was asleep for way too long. There's way too many people out there that need to wake up to the fact that the things that are happening right now are no different than what they were trying to do, 60 years ago, or 70, 80 years ago, segregating people. It is 100% the same thing, all under the guise of anti-racism. Like, we need to figure it out, man. We need to be strong enough to just talk about the stuff that's happening. Excuse me. Sorry. The next little thing I want to talk about was this vaccine passports. Antihero Kate, who I follow on Twitter, she is an awesome Twitter account. I highly recommend that you follow her. Vaccine supports are white supremacy, discriminatory, and racist. She's being sarcastic here. But the tweet that she clips is just, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that we're even entertaining this kind of garbage online. Like, literal garbage. Vaccine passports are a good idea, among other things. It will single out the still large contingent of people who refuse vaccines, who will be foreclosed from doing a lot of things their peers can do. That should help break down the resistance. Are you mad, you blue check mark or white check mark, like, garbage pile? Get real, my friend. These people are ignorant to history. They don't care about you getting back to your normal life. They don't give one iota of a shit that you get back to your normal life and enjoy your family and enjoy the things they want you to do. They want to control what it is you're doing. They want to control where you go. People who refuse to get the vaccine. How about people just want the choice to do what they want to do? I've heard plenty of stories out of Texas where all mandates are gone, that people still wear masks. You have the choice to wear a mask if you want. You don't have the right to tell someone they have to do something. You don't. Sorry. But this guy wants to control what it is that you're doing. Let's see what he is. He's an LA Times legal affairs columnist, former U.S. attorney, DOJ official. This is the problem. Individual autonomy and freedom for the win. Absolutely. But the problem is they don't want you to have that. They don't want you to be able to think rationally for yourself. They don't want you to be able to do any sort of research. They're going to silence any sort of dissenting opinion that does not fall in line. They're going to try and shout it down. They're going to try and tell you that you're wrong. They're going to try and tell you that you're an idiot. This is their tactic. This is the tactic that I have come to realize is what's happening. And I came to this because it's what was going on Facebook. When I was on Facebook and I was trying to, as I was waking up, as my red pill dissolved slowly, I started bringing up things to my friends and family on Facebook and saying, hey, what about this? This doesn't make sense. This actually flies in the face of what you're saying. It's what we call a lie. There's actual lies that are being told to people. And all in the name of progressivism. And what they do is they tell you that you're being radicalized. They tell you you're being indoctrinated. And what this does is it pushes you. They're silently pushing you to the edge where you feel so alone that you'll either A, delete your social media and just totally remove yourself from the conversation, or you're not going to speak up anymore. You're just going to stay silent. You're going to be obedient, just the way they want you to be. They don't want you. They don't want to be tolerant of you. They want you to just agree with them, fall in line, and enjoy whatever life that it is you have left. You know, like it. This doesn't end well when someone's trying to tell you need a vaccine passport to do things. It's already bad enough that you have, like, people tell you all the time, you got to carry your vaccine card around. Why? I know I got it. I know I'm healthy. Like, people forget, and this is something like you can't even talk about with people, because then they call you a COVID denier or an anti-vaxxer. People still use their heads when they were out. Like, if you're sick, people don't go out. They just don't go out. I feel sick. I feel like shit. I stay home from work. That's what I'm doing here today. I work in a government like area. It is so strict to the fact that if I even have the sniffles, I don't go to work, because it's not worth losing my job over. It's not worth someone thinking that I lied on a sheet that says, yes, I am, I'm healthy. Well, why are you coughing like that? Why are you sniffling? Why do you have, well, I don't know, because I don't have COVID, but I happen to have a cold, because that's normal. These people want to keep you locked up in your house. They don't want you to have fun. They just want you to listen to what they're saying, blindly push the narrative forward. That's all they want from you. It is the saddest state, and you have people that you love and you care about that push this shit day in and day out. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but we as people, as smart individuals, we need to learn how to talk to one another about it. If someone tries saying some dumb shit like you need a vaccine passport, people need to be strong enough to stand up and say, no, I don't need that. Don't need that. For a virus that has a 99% survival rate for most groups, we don't need that. Sorry. Just that's how it's going to happen. So, again, thank you guys for hanging out and watching. I appreciate you today. Like I said, this is going to be the very, very first episode of a new project I'm calling Here Today, Gone Tomorrow, because these things happen, these big stories happen, and then they're immediately gone out of the news. Like, this stuff, like with the things that we've just been talking about, whether there's, hate on the Asian American community, vaccine passports, and now this Derek Chauvin trial, these things, like, they'll be with us, but we need to talk about them. They need to stay relevant. So Glenn Kirshner decided to say the prosecutor in the Derek Chauvin case just told the jury, as several bystanders watched police officers ending George Floyd's life, the bystanders called the police on the police. Those bystanders knew they were watching a murder in progress. They were right. Justice matters. This is the kind of shit, again, blue check marks are posting on here because they want your money. First of all, they want your money. He doesn't give a shit about George Floyd. He doesn't give a shit about Derek Chauvin. He doesn't give a shit about it. I'll just be honest with you. What he cares about is creating so much outrage that people will forget basic, like, facts. There's I want to say it's an hour and 15 minutes long police video, body cam footage from these cops the day that George Floyd died. George Floyd's death was awful. He shouldn't have died. Absolutely not. Let's be very, very clear on that. George Floyd shouldn't have died. It was an awful thing. But we're forgetting the fact of the hour footage before the clip that everyone wants to share, right? Everyone wants to share the clip, that awful, awful 8 minutes. But nobody wants to talk about the restraint that these officers had with a man who was clearly under the influence of drugs, who was clearly not in his right mind, unfortunately. Everyone wants to forget that fact. It is like, these are people too. They made an he made an awful decision in being on his neck for so long. Are they going to get the conviction that they want? Are they going to get murder 2 or murder 3? Or I'm sorry, I think it's manslaughter. No, probably not. It's very important that people understand that the overall video footage, the body cam footage from that day is like it's a lot. It's a lot, and they don't understand how much restraint they exercised. And he told them, so they tried to put him in the car. He was panicking. Oh my God, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Get me out of the car. Put me on the ground. Put me on the ground. He like asked to be put on the ground. The move that Derek Chauvin used on him with his knee on his neck like that is an actual training that they do. Now, do they for 8 minutes? Probably not. Again, to say that he did everything right is wrong. I don't think he did everything right. I think Derek Chauvin is guilty of something. I don't think people are going to get the conviction they want, and I think everyone needs to be ready for the fallout from this. I think if you're in one of these cities that has been subject to so much destruction, you need to brace yourself for the end of this trial. Again, and this isn't, it's important to know that he asked to be put on the ground. He asked to be put on the ground again. And at this point, he starts getting a lot in the video. He starts getting a lot more unruly. He's very clearly not in his right mind. He does not have all his mental faculties. Again, toxicology reports came back and said that he had lethal levels of fentanyl in his system. This is important. You need to consider these things when you're looking at everything. You don't just look at a 2-minute clip of this guy like laying lifeless on the ground, or even an 8-minute clip of him, because there was so much more involved than just this. We're living in really strange times right now. We're living in really strange times, and I really hope that we come out of it. Of course, guys, if you're enjoying what you're hearing, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are going to do more of these. I will definitely have guests on in the future. I will definitely have people to talk to in the future to get some dialogue going. But for now, we're going to do just like, we're going to touch on these news stories as we go. And I want to thank you all for lending me your time, because it's, time is money. I know you guys are trying to do your own thing, whether you're at work, whether you're at home for the day, or whatever. I really appreciate you being here. It means a lot to me. So yeah, make sure you leave a comment, subscribe to the channel so you get more updates. So I also do a segment called Politically Confused. I haven't updated a video in a while, but we have some juicy stuff coming up, and I know it's going to be fun. And it looks like so Glenn Greenwald just is now trending in politics. So we're going to take a look at what's going on here. Glenn Greenwald receives blowback for his criticism of a USA Today intern's article about a January 6 riots crowdfunding donations for their legal fees. Which again is laughable, because you have a sitting vice president who was crowdfunding for Antifa rioters back in the summertime. She was pushing for the fact that she was pushing for people to crowdfund to pay for legal fees and bail for them to get out of jail. Antifa rioters, people that were burning down cities, your sitting vice president was doing that. Right. Sonic Buster. Okay, so Antifa is attacking the capital of Oregon, and Twitter is blaming it on conservatives. It's laughable, man. They want. The problem with the left right now is that they want to put everything on someone else. There is zero accountability on the left. Like real accountability. like you do something illegal and you get in trouble for it. No, what happens now is they blame it on an entire wing, the opposite political spectrum, because it relieves them of all responsibility and puts everything on everyone else. Like, you have to understand the hilarity in that. They want all the power with none of the responsibility. I'll say it again. They want all the power with none of the responsibility. It is again, we're living in a clown world, everyone. See, Antifa is trending. Pardon me. Okay, Jack Posobiec, he tweets, cops watch the driver get surrounded, be attacked, and then arrested the driver. The police did nothing about the Antifa members here committing multiple crimes in full view. Literal insanity. Do you see do you see the problem? So he is being, I don't see what's going on with the video. But it looks like this guy is just defending himself because they're assaulting this guy's car. So he starts defending himself, and then this guy gets arrested? Is that what I'm saying? Yeah, Antifa. So Andy No says, Antifa smash up man's truck at the Oregon State Capitol in Salem. He pulls out a gun and is arrested by responding police. So they're standing and watching what's going on. He pulls a gun to defend his private property, and he gets arrested. Do you see the problem? Are people going to start waking up? Hopefully, my hope is that this guy, because he brandished a weapon, he's going to get arrested. They're going to bring him, they're going to book him, and then they're going to release him and say, oh, okay, we understand. We just want to make sure you didn't do anything. But all the while, the Antifa around him gets to break up or, bust up this guy's truck. Police are silent. Police are silent. Good. Someone in the chat says he was released. Good. I'm glad he was released. But this speaks to the larger problem of the police sitting around while private property is being damaged. Right? I forgot how to drink coffee. Apologize. This speaks to the larger problem that Antifa gets the pass while people like this guy who's defending his private property, who's voicing his American right to be a proud American. So guys like him, the Proud Boys, and any other quote unquote alt-right group has to suffer the consequences. They have to be arrested and booked. It's insane. I really am concerned about where this is going. I mean, I would love to see the comments in this are probably. And then you have garbage like this. A reminder that America lost more than 400,000 Antifa troops in World War II. They were anti-fascism. It was literally what Antifa means. Shut your mouth. Like, what a way to just like totally undermine. Like, do not for 1 second compare Antifa of all these major cities that are burning to the ground to like actual American heroes that were out there, defeating the Nazis. Literally, how dare you? What Antifa means today, Antifa is a fascist group trying to like take over these public spaces. They say they're against fascism. All they do is push fascism. Please stop slandering our troops. Our troops went out and fought to stop real fascism and Nazism. They did not burn down U.S. businesses or do anything like that. Please stop comparing our brave military to organized street thugs. Exactly. I didn't even see that. Thank you. I did not even see that was there. People aren't stupid. They're not falling for this shit anymore. And like these accounts, whatever this is, like, people aren't stupid. There's people like me and a lot of other Americans out there who are just like, we're done with your bullshit. Proud LGBTQ progressive, doing my part to make and keep America blue. No list. Build back better. Accountability. The resistance. Black Lives Matter. Shut the hell up. They don't know what the word progressive means. Keep America blue. Like, get lost. And this has 351 likes. Let's see the quote retweets. It's just that get the hell out of here. I can't even. Like, I just literally cannot even do it. Clown world. I got a facepalm. For those who, like, maybe I'm facepalming right now because I don't get it. People should be seeking out alternative tech to voice their concerns on, to have a conversation, because Twitter and Facebook, Instagram's just a pile of hot garbage anyway. But like those platforms aren't for any sort of conversation. They want those people belong in their echo chambers. That's where they'll stay. And people need to find alternative tech to talk on, whether it's Minds, Gab, uploading videos on BitChute or Odyssey or Rumble. Like those are where you're going to start having conversations with people, joining communities that want to talk either side. Like those are the communities you want to be a part of. Unfortunately, progressive platforms like Twitch, they don't want to have a conversation with you. They want to tell you what it is you're supposed to do, and that's it. And if you don't fall in there, they're gonna dogpile you. They're gonna dog whistle you, and that's it. They're gonna claim that you're dog whistling, white supremacists. Don't fall for it. But we need to diversify. People need to look at other platforms as a way to get their message out and find like-minded people. Like, you might be able to find like-minded people through Twitch and Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, but it's gonna be so few and far between that, like, people are afraid to talk on those platforms a lot of times. That's why you get all these accounts that are no profile pics. People are too afraid to talk about it. They're getting better, but on those platforms, you have too many people who are afraid to speak up. But there's a lot of good that can be done in the world. People like myself and many other people in my community who are done with how the left operates, Democrats operate. Like, we are very, very accepting of alternative ideas. Like, we want to talk to people. I want to have a conversation with someone who doesn't agree with me. I've reached out to a few people actually, in regards to having them on the podcast to talk about, like, why, or just, I just want to talk to people. I don't care. I don't even really care to out them as some crazy leftist. I want to have a conversation about who they are as a person, because that's how you bridge the gap. That's how you're going to bridge the gap with someone you don't like. You need to find common ground. Me and some crazy leftist on like TikTok or Twitter, like we're people. We both understand that like we have needs as humans. Pardon me. But I want to have the difficult conversation because I feel that I feel like that I'm not nuts, right? Like once my red pill dissolved and I sort of woke up to like how the mainstream narrative was so incredibly off, I started realizing that like conservatives, the people that I thought were so bad for so long, actually had a fairly good argument. Sorry, I mean, when you take an objective view, when you take a step back, when you think, okay, how do I look at this without, you know, I just want to look at this whole thing from a completely objective point of view where I'm not factoring my emotions. Because we all do things when we're emotional that's not good, right? When we make emotional decisions, it's generally not in our best interest. And think about any time you actually spent money emotionally or like quickly. You probably didn't buy something you actually needed. You probably went and bought the thing you really wanted and said, I deserve it, I'm going to buy it. And then you realize, shit, I should have kept that money because now I need to pay rent. But yeah, if you have friends or you have people that you know would probably like to have a conversation who are not like in your own, like, I imagine people watching this are people who have similar political, social views as me. Like if you have friends that are really outspoken on things and you think would have a chat, let me know, tag them, or, you know, like I want to meet these people because I want them to understand that we have way more in common than we do different. Way more in common. And it doesn't mean that we can't get over certain things, right? It doesn't mean that we can't find a way to coexist. Because right now we live in this really, like there's the left and then there's the right and then this whole area in between, which like my group and I have come to realize is just called these politically homeless individuals. You know, and as you go back and forth on the spectrum, you have people who are politically homeless, like towards the left, which is kind of me. And then you have people on the right who've been conservatives their whole time, and they feel that they don't realize, like they don't know where they fit in anymore because both extreme sides are just way out of their minds. But I appreciate everyone stopping by today. We're gonna put the cap on the very first episode of Here Today, Gone Tomorrow, because Lord knows that the stories we covered today probably won't really be in the news very much longer. Of course, we'll probably see the Derek Chauvin stuff continue over the next few weeks as the trial continues. Again, I don't think it's going to end well for people who are, you know, pro BLM and want to see this guy fry. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Because when you look at it objectively, he did what he was trained. I think he did something wrong. I do not think that he is innocent of really anything. But all they did was stack a bunch of charges on there so they can, you know, essentially get him something a little bit lower. But my guess is it'll be something